Amphibia is one of Disney's newest story-driven cartoons about a girl named Anne Boonchoy who opens a mysterious box she stole from a thrift store, and she's taken to a whole different world called Amphibia, which is a giant island inhabited by mostly talking frogs, along with some other interesting creatures like giant water snakes, praying mantises, and more. Anne befriends one of the frogs in Amphibia named Sprig, and he lets her stay at his house while she slowly tries to figure out how to get back to her world. When initially seeing sneak peeks of this, I thought it looked cool and all, but I wasn't 100% convinced that I'd be able to fully invest myself into it hardcore like I did /am with Steven Universe and Star vs. the Forces of Evil, for example. I think the main deciding factor to get fully into it was finding out Anne was being voiced by Brenda Song, aka London Tipton from the Sweet Life series, as well as many other live-action roles in Disney movies /shows. She was always one of my favorite Disney actresses growing up, so seeing her back on Disney in voice acting made me so happy. Maybe that's an odd thing to have as the deciding factor for me to completely invest in the show, but hey, I love Brenda, dude. She's great. The first 2 episodes were released on the Disney app and on Disney's YouTube channel on June 14th, and I believe its television debut was on June 17th. Boy, were those episodes great. Even with just those 2 episodes, there were a lot of underlying tones and themes, as well as major plot points being set up. The main thing I want to talk about for this video, though, is how friendship is already playing a major role in the show and will definitely continue to play a major role in the show. The only other characters that we know that come from Anne's world besides Anne are her 2 supposed best friends, Marcy and Sasha. In episode 2, we learned Anne stole the Amphibia treasure box from a thrift store, and it appears she was being peer pressured to steal it by her 2 friends as they were staring at her through the glass window of the store. You know, Sasha giving her a double thumbs up with a bit of a devious smile going on, and Marcy doing the same smile while looking at Anne. Later on, when Anne and Sprig were preparing to sneak out to go swim in the Amphibia lake, Anne gives her definition of what she thinks a true friend is to Sprig, and she was like, "Whatever you want, a real friend will help you get." And I was like, man, I was thinking to myself, this poor little girl, like, she actually believes this. It's so sad. At the lake, when Sprig was trying to save Anne from entering the lake due to the warning sign post, Anne got super antsy, thinking Sprig wasn't being a good friend because he wasn't helping her get what she wants. And if you don't help a friend get what they want, they might not want to be your friend anymore. I felt so bad for Anne when I saw this. It's heavily implied that these ideals about friendship were given to her through Marcy and Sasha, since they peer pressured her into stealing the Amphibia box, even though she didn't want to. But she didn't want to lose them as friends, so she did it anyway. Now the question is, did Marcy and Sasha threaten to stop being Anne's friends if she didn't steal the Amphibia box? I'm talking about this scenario specifically. You know, granted, we're only 2 episodes in, we don't really know a whole lot about these 2 characters quite yet. Sasha is confirmed to be held prisoner in some type of dungeon by an evil frog warden who could potentially be the main villain for season 1, and Marcy has yet to be shown at all inside Amphibia, but she's gotta be lurking in there somewhere. Like, why wouldn't she be? So we don't know if Sasha and Marcy just behaved like delinquents and wouldn't necessarily drop Anne if she didn't do what they asked, because maybe there's a chance Anne had a bad experience with a friend dropping her for not doing what they asked before she even became friends with Sasha and Marcy, so she, you know, had this mindset about friendship for a while now. And that experience haunts her to the point where even if her friends won't drop her when she doesn't do what they want, she still has that fear of it happening in the back of her head, which sucks. Even though none of this stuff is confirmed yet, part of me is leaning towards the idea of Sasha and Marcy, specifically Sasha, having that toxic mindset of dropping Anne if Anne doesn't do favors for her, and that's due to the fact that her being imprisoned rather than in a more comforting environment like Anne could kind of be karma for pressuring Anne into theft. Now, I know some of you might say, oh, but the Frog Warden found Anne's shoe and implied that Sasha was lying about, you know, other humans on Amphibia, you know, to protect Anne or whatever, but I guarantee Sasha has no clue that Anne and Marcy are on Amphibia. I guarantee. If Anne has no idea where the other 2 are, then how the hell would Sasha know? Like, come on. The whole thing with Anne's shoe, though, is really interesting. I'm curious how the shoe in specific ended up close enough to that area of the prison for him to find it. I guess we'll have to see what happens. Friendships are definitely going to be tested, man. I could low-key see Anne and Sprig having some type of falling out at one point, like a, you know, legitimate falling out, you know, and she sides with Sasha and Marcy over something before she realizes what being a real friend actually means. There's still a lot of possibilities that could be created just off of what we've seen from these 2 episodes, and I love it so much. Thank God a season 2 is already confirmed for this series, and I hope there's much more to come afterwards. That just about does it for this video, though. I'd love to keep making more Amphibia content in the future, especially if we continue to get more episodes as solid as these. I'm calling it that. At the very least, Sasha and Anne will reunite by the end of season 1. I'm betting all the cards on it. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of these first 2 episodes if you watched them. If you haven't, go watch them right now. They're so good. And what you think might happen with the friendship triangle of Anne, Marcy, and Sasha, and maybe soon to be friendship square with Sprig added into the mix. I would love to know your thoughts. As usual, be sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed the video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, take care, bye-bye.